Turns out in C++, there's multiple inheritance. There's single inheritance, multiple inheritance. So if I were to draw your attention to this box, this is our base class. So this is almost like the mothership of everything. Off of the mothership, there's individual ships and vessels that comes out of it. You could have a single inheritance. By the way, this arrow, which is a open arrow, not a closed arrow, it looks like this. This is a universal model language style of drawing inheritance. This arrow going up with a open, not the filled arrows, represent a single inheritance right here. There is only one child class or derived class. This is what we call single inheritance. One single chain going up straight up into the base class. Multiple inheritance means that there is, if I draw your attention here to this box, that you could actually have your derived class, DC. There's base class number one, there's base class number two, where you can have multiple inheritances. Well, inheritance is singular, so it's multiple inheritance, meaning class inherits from multiple base classes. This is very possible. You can also have three. And then what's crazy about this is your DC could also be the base class of another inheritance pattern. And this is DC2. This is DC1. DC1 could be base class number 3 for DC2. You could get into the diamond multiple inheritance patterns where you have something like this. If you see a diamond right here, and let's say your angle is to create this derived class right here, all the way on the bottom. Do you see any pattern right here? This is a diamond. They call it diamond inheritance. What comes to mind when you see this diamond inheritance? Is there a problem? What is the problem? There's one big problem right here. If you're a DC right here, let's say DC has a whole bunch of properties and behaviors. Do you know if this orange property, is it coming from here? Or is it coming from here? Or is it coming from here? This question, right, of provenance, attribution, like where is the property coming from? Is it coming from this base class, or this super class right here, base class 1, base class 2? It creates a provenance issue, attribution issues. This is a source of bugs, a lot of bugs. I mean, if you had an issue with this class somewhere deep down at runtime in your system, you're trying to locate your bug and you don't know where this is coming from. And it becomes super complicated through polymorphism and inheritances because everything kind of gets mushed together. I mean, you can have the best logging system, logging the heck out of your class and say, hey, every time this feature gets inherited, I'm gonna print, system out print line, right? That's all we do, right? But there's a lot of problem with that. One is you don't put logging in the production system to slow your system down. And even if you turn on debugger, there are certain sets of features and behaviors that are coming from somewhere, but you don't know through this diamond pattern. This is the reason why Java completely gets rid of the multiple inheritance. Java doesn't have multiple inheritance. There's only single inheritances here. Yeah, these are for data structure classes. Since we're talking about C++ here, best practices moving forward is, do not use multiple inheritance if you don't have to. Even if you use multiple inheritance, don't get into this diamond structure here. Once in a while, I think it's okay to have maybe two. That's totally fine. You can say that this is maybe parts, and this is the body, and this entire thing is a car. Don't get into second tier multiple inheritance. This becomes an issue moving forward, and this is the type of design pattern that is frowned upon. There are 3 types of inheritance. I'm just going to lightly touch this. This is, first of all, in C++, you see this delineation. If you have public inheritance, meaning every single trait that your derived class gets from the parents, they are publicly accessible. Private means it could only be accessible by the base class. So there is restrictions that you can do. You can think of information only get passed down, and certain information due to private, public, or protected inheritance are only accessible by a certain member of your entire ecosystem.